back to another Jeff Reviews for You. The video that you are seeing and audio that you are hearing are coming right from the EufyCam S3 Pro. You know what though? Enough talk. Let's get right into this review. Here's our EufyCam S3 Pro. Of course, you can see this is our 2-cam kit and it comes with our very own home base. I love that these cameras are fully solar powered. The batteries get charged just by being in the sun, and of course they are 4K. Let's open this up to see what we get. The folks out at Eufy were really thinking outside of the box. Look at this, we just unboxed it. Of course, our units have a solar panel right here on top, but they include an extra solar panel just in case your unit does not reach the sun, it doesn't have full exposure. You can set up a solar panel in a different location and still power your camera. I love that out-of-the-box thinking. That's pretty cool. For those of you that are new to Eufy, I'm going to walk you real fast through the home base. It's actually a pretty sweet setup. On the top, you can actually just push down to pop up the top here. There's an access panel right here for you to install your hard drive. Just unscrew this here and put in your hard drive. I've already put mine in there. Let's take a look at behind on the back. You can actually see that I have 2 USB ports here. I have my Ethernet cable and my power supply right here. These USB ports are actually used to plug in your cameras. You can charge them right now, and I'm going to do that. Your home base is really easy to set up to the app. You just click the plus and you go through, you find the home base, and in a matter of minutes, it's already set up. We've already set ours up, and for the purpose of this video, we're going to set up the cameras, but I did want to let you know that hooking up that home base is quick and easy as well. You can see that we are charging our camera from right here behind the home base. What I want to do is I want to install this camera to our system. So I have the app pulled up. We're going to hit plus. We're going to go to battery cameras, and this first one right here, the EufyCam S3 Pro. We're going to add it to our Jeff Reviews for You home base. So now we are within that close proximity, so we're already there. So what we want to do now is there's a button on the bottom you want to actually hit. It's right here. You want to push and hold that for just a few seconds, right next to where we are plugged in. Push and hold. Hear that beep? That means it's going to start to connect. There was a high-pitched squeal, and it's coming again with some additional beeps, and that's actually happening while our EufyCam is actually connecting to the home base. In just a matter of minutes, you saw it was added successfully. We are done. Let's hit next. This is just going to walk us through some of the tutorials, but your camera is set up and ready to go. I want to give you a little head-to-head between the EufyCam S3 Pro and the EufyCam 3. Of course, the S3 Pro is on the left and the EufyCam 3 is on the right. Some of the upgrades you might see is in the S3 Pro, you're going to have the max color vision, which is impressive for that nighttime shooting. It is going to have an adaptive spotlight. One of the most notable things is you have twice the size of a solar panel on top, and actually Eufy tells us that just an hour in the sun every day is going to keep this always powered. That is super cool. Check it out. It's actually so much bigger as well with a 13,000 milliamp battery. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Before we set up our camera, I did want to talk a little bit about the detection between the two cameras. The original one had what was known as PIR, and if you're not knowing what that is, that's passive infrared. Well, guess what? The new one also has PIR, but it also has radar, and what they say, this will actually accurately identify movement and reduce false alerts by up to 99%. That's a pretty cool feature because there's nothing more frustrating than getting false alerts at your camera. If we look on straight, we see that the S3 Pro has 2 floodlights, whereas the S3 has just 1 floodlight. That's going to give you a lot more light for your night camera. So tell me, what are your thoughts of the EufyCam S3 Pro? Something you're interested in? Let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. Now, I want to show you some of the cool things with this camera. I wanted to give you a head-to-head view of the nighttime videos from this camera. So what we have is we have our standard, then we have what's called daylight, then of course we have our spotlight, which is the brightest and uses the most power, then of course there's the one we all know, which is the infrared version where it's that black and white. What I would love to hear from you though, which one is your favorite? Let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. The EufyCam S3 Pro boasts an impressive 135-degree viewing angle, meaning you can see almost everything from left to right and right in front of you. There are a lot of great features in this app, and no, I'm not going to show you all of them, but I am going to show you this one. Privacy zones. What are privacy zones, you ask? Well, it's just that. A lot of people get really worried about cameras and, well, what can cameras record and cameras not record? Well, you can actually set your own privacy zone, so you can tell your camera, nope, you can't look there, but you can look everywhere else. I appreciate that feature from Eufy. Just as easy as you can set them up, you can also take them away. For those of you wondering how I made the magic happen, I actually have the camera open, the little gear icon at the top right, I click on that. Once it brings up here, I'm going to go down to the video settings. In video settings, you actually will see privacy zones. And then of course I'm going to add privacy zones. Now this does turn on your camera, so make sure you're able to turn that into the landscape. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the plus, and I can move this privacy zone anywhere I want. And once I'm done, I hit the check mark and my privacy zone is set. Of course, if I want to delete it, I click on that little pencil button there, and it's already highlighted my privacy zone. I hit delete, and then with just in a matter of seconds, we're opened up again to see the entire area. One more thing I'm going to show you on the app is the ability to have the alarm go off. Now, you can have this set off so it detects just based on someone moving, or you can set it off yourself, and that's what I'm going to do here. I have the app open, and right at the top next to the gear icon, it looks like a little alarm button, so let's click the alarm. We have camera and spotlight. Whoa, that thing is super loud. Of course, right now you can't see it, but the camera is flashing its lights, and of course you can hear that annoying siren. I can turn it off right from here, but it does tell would-be intruders, this is not the place you want to be. In this video, we were taking a look at the EufyCam S3 Pro. So what do we think of it? First things first, let's talk about that price point. And in this video, we were looking at the 2-cam set with home base, and it retailed for right around $549. Doing my research, that's to the mid to high end of a product just like this, except if you think about all the things that are crammed into these cameras and home base, you're actually getting a pretty good deal. My favorite thing, if you purchase your own hard drive that goes inside your home base, you have zero monitoring costs, meaning you can store all of the video footage right at your own house. There's no clouds, there's no monthly fee, and I really appreciate that about Eufy. One thing I love about these are the solar panels. So at my house, I actually have a battery backup on my home base and a battery backup on my internet router. So if the power goes out here, which it does a lot, the cameras are still up and running because they're solar powered and they had been charging, and so I don't lose any of my security footage even in a power outage. That's extra important to me, especially if you think about the security needs. When you think of the difference between the original and then now the S3 Pro, I really appreciate the max color, makes all the things just pop, especially at night. There's that AI night vision. You can see things out there that you didn't think you can see before. Plus, they actually have that spotlight that can transition lower and darker so you don't look like people are being washed out. You can actually see people with clarity. Those are great upgrades for this camera. There's a lot to like about the Eufy setup. I outlined some of those in here, but I like having all my cameras on one particular app. Anyway, if this is something that interests you, I will leave a link down in the description. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. As always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day. I want to talk a little bit about the power management. Now, I've only had my cameras up and running for about 5 days, and that's not as long as a test as I'd like to do, but I've been filming on these a lot. Like, I use these cameras and access the video all day long, and because they are out in the sun and charging, I have 98% battery still, and that's with utilizing the camera for hours sometimes during the day. I will say on my old camera that I've had up for a year, it's still at 100%, and I do access those, so the power being charged by the sun is pretty impressive, and it does last over time. I really do appreciate that you stayed around for my entire review of the EufyCam S3 Pro. We actually talked about the EufyCam 3 in this video, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to link up my original review right over here, and I would love it if you would click on this link. And when you do, by the magic of the internet, I'm going to join you right here. So go ahead, click it. It's safe, I promise.